Phineas and Ferb the movie, Candace Against the Universe, is an absurdly entertaining delight that also just happens to have a really subtle and moving message about anxiety at its core. And I'm here to break it down. When you first glance at the movie's title, Candace Against the Universe, it just seems like a fun, silly, over-the-top name for a galactic adventure, doesn't it? It doesn't seem like the kind of title that's gonna leave you lying awake at night pondering your place in the world while you cry, right? Well, you're wrong! Because once you watch this film, really watch it, and then look again at that title, it just takes on a whole new resonance. Let me explain. The film opens in the chaotic stasis of Candace's existence. She just wants to enjoy her summer day, and she tries to tell herself, through song, that she won't get sucked into her brother's chaos theory, and that it doesn't matter to her what they're doing. But, of course, the second she sees Phineas and Ferb's latest piece of literal clownery, she can't help herself. And as always, when Candace attempts to bust the boys, Doofenshmirtz and Perry's fight inadvertently results in the boys' invention disappearing just before her mother can see it. It's the umpteenth time that this has happened, and it's quite frankly been a buildup of emotion for Candace. So, for the first time, Candace expresses her innermost anxieties to her brothers in a plain and direct manner that she never really did on the show before.
Every day, I get beaten down by the universe. I just feel so defeated.
She feels alone in her suffering. We tend to witness Candace mostly in the midst of her failings, but not the aftermath like we do here, forcing us to view Candace outside of the standard context of her episodic exploits. Phineas, oblivious as always, is unaware of the magnitude of Candace's misery. He just assumed that since he's been having a fun summer, so is she, and he's crestfallen to realize that not only is she unhappy, but that he's played a major part in that unhappiness. Then Vanessa Doofenshmirtz happens to pass by the house and pretty much nails the core of Candace's issue right out of the gate. Between the eye-opening talks she's given to her father in the finale, and now Candace in this film, this goth girl is a therapist on the rise, and I wish her luck in her future psychological endeavors.
Is it possible that your obsession with busting them is really just a distraction from your real problem, which is how you feel about yourself?
You mean like a tiny, meaningless speck in the universe?
Yes, in the grand scheme of things, Candace feels inconsequential. If all she's here to do is to fail and suffer, why is she here? Why should she even exist? And it is here, before any literal aliens come into conflict with her later on in the narrative, that Candace expresses her firm belief that the universe is against her. The flip of the title, the universe against Candace. Because the cosmic conflict the film eventually leads to is just a vehicle to navigate through the true main direction, the ideological pain that negates Candace's every move. Stemming from not a sci-fi universe, but one that's very much grounded in emotional reality. Vanessa then suggests a compelling hypothetical to Candace.
Let's say you did finally expose them, then what? Would you suddenly be happy?
Yes!
And while Candace has fully convinced herself that she somehow definitely would, if that's the only meaning she's deriving out of her life, she needs another outlet or else she could end up feeling more meaningless than ever. Candace is made to feel unspecial to the point that she'll seek validation even from an alien species she doesn't truly understand, like she did in the Unfair Science Fair Redux episode, when she became the Queen of Mars. An event Baljeet subtly refers to in the film in a manner that only a diehard fan would catch. But whereas in that episode the conflict stemmed from more of a comical misunderstanding about her friends avoiding her,
Candace, you loser. Bad friendships fail. Stacy.
here it comes from a much more authentic place. Candace constantly failing throughout the series to show her mom the crazy contraptions the boys made in the backyard, for reasons she can't even begin to understand, really does make it feel like the universe is indeed genuinely against her. You would think the film would set out to prove that Candace is wrong to believe this, but given the cosmically bad fortune she's had throughout an entire series' worth of adventures, it would be disingenuous to go for that rebuttal. It'd serve a standalone movie experience just fine, though, and be an uplifting, albeit uncomplicated resolution to her feelings. But the movie doesn't take the easy way out here. No. It concedes how hard that life can become, and will continue to be. The film is more about changing your perspective on what reality is. And it offers a few of these perspectives. One of them, the initial solution of surface-level value in the universe presented to Candace, comes from Super Big Doctor. Yes, that is her name. And it's that Candace is the chosen one, who will provide vital help to this alien species on Feebla-Oot. so long as she simply exists, which makes her feel like she should.
Just by existing, you are saving our planet.
This is indeed a new outlet for Candace, and it allows her to finally feel special on her own terms, without her brothers even being a factor. But, fittingly, just as Candace is not in the know about what exactly results in her attempted busting actions being rendered meaningless on Earth, she's equally ignorant as to how exactly she's of assistance to these extraterrestrials. Yet the details aren't what concern her at this point. Candace will gladly take whatever respect she can get, and it is here that the antagonist of the film equates value and specialness with being seen, lauded, and respected constantly as innately important. You need to be hailed as the chosen one, get recognized out in public, go on the talk show circuit, and continue keeping everyone else in your life at arm's length. If you want respect, you need to assert complete control, just as Super Big Doctor has done over her subjects. And you need to separate yourself from your brothers, keeping them out of sight and out of mind so they don't hold you back. Much like the plants he aims to weaponize the mind-controlling spores of, Super Big Doctor feels that in order to achieve your potential and become big and important, you subsist on taking in the direct recognition of others, or else you'll wither away into nothingness. They never actually draw this connection in the movie, but in the show, Candace was always seeking her mother's recognition of Phineas and Ferb as a threat, and Super Big Doctor is weaponizing her plant's recognition of Earthlings as a threat. And do you know what she calls that plant?
I see you've met Mama.
She literally refers to it as Mama. Yeah, a psychologist could have a field day with that correlation. It seems we're all doomed to seek this kind of assuring attention from authoritative adults we hold in high esteem, whether or not they truly deserve the pedestals we place them on. But, as it turns out, that isn't how it has to be for us, and we shouldn't all live like toxic alien plants. Yeah, put that on a bumper sticker. We don't need all this recognition in order to be special. Sometimes the most powerful forces acting upon us in the universe are of an uncelebrated, invisible nature. The mysterious force that's always making Phineas and Ferb's inventions disappear is one of them, but also the force that is Phineas and Ferb and their friends in this film, working to find and rescue Candace throughout the duration of the adventure, is an invisible and uncelebrated one, because it's all unbeknownst to Candace for a large portion of the running time. They don't seek any recognition for their actions, and the only other adult that knows about them is Doofenshmirtz, whose status as an adult is certainly up for debate. And actually is debated through song. God, I love the musical numbers. And most touching of all, none of these kids are ever made privy to the fact that Perry is surreptitiously there all along the adventure to protect them. He literally can't reveal that he's there, otherwise he'll compromise his identity. But he doesn't care. He'll just be the unseen guardian angel, not looking for glory or applause, not trying to be part of someone else's story, but just fighting for a noble cause. The unsung hero in a movie full of them, here to sing their praises. The film is all about taking action and being active, but asking what the motivations are behind that activity. Do we take action out of a selfish quest for recognition and purpose, like Candace initially does, and to a far more extreme extent, like Super Big Doctor does? Or is it out of an utterly noble cause, like Perry, the quiet moral center of the film, who's just protecting what he cares about because it's the right thing to do? Because the movie's not about condemning being active and controlling. It shows that becoming passive isn't the solution either, seeing as how the Cowardalians have completely accepted their universe taking a tide for the worse as they merely try to hide away from the conflict. No, as Phineas shows them, you can ascend to importance if given the proper chance to, no matter how unlikely it seems, or how little you're believed in. Really, the film is a celebration of seemingly minuscule, insignificant things and why they matter. The canoe that Buford brings to space that somehow proves useful. Space Adventure, the canceled TV show that provides the occasional helpful tip. Fireside Girl patches that show genuine leadership skills. Doofenshmirtz's chicken replacinator that ends up saving humanity. My goodness, what a great gag. The mug that actually is a container, not just of coffee, but of memories. Memories of everything that makes Phineas and Ferb proud to call Candace their sister. And, of course, Candace herself. Candace! There's a reason 3 of the most impactful moments of the film all revolve around Candace realizing the greater sense of purpose in something that previously felt useless. Her reaction to Phineas and Ferb's gift, when she uses that chicken replacinator to rid Earth of that alien, and when she weaponizes her tendency to send Mom away, but this time solely in order to protect her brothers. Candace feels brought down by the universe, that the universe is against her. And then she realizes in the film's climax that it can be her against the universe.
You know, I used to think the universe was against me, but now I realize it's me against the universe.
But that's still one step away from the ultimate epiphany of the film. Candace learns it isn't just about whether the universe is against her or if she takes charge and it's her against the universe. No. Phineas tells her that she doesn't have to do this alone, and that it's
us. It's us against the universe.
Which, hey, you know what? That's why they're all mentioned in the full title. Phineas, Ferb, and Candace are all against the universe together. There's all their names. They're all against the universe. Yeah, you get it? You get it now? Bam! Just because the universe is beating up on you doesn't mean you shouldn't exist. Nor that you should separate yourself from your friends and family, as Phineas heartwarmingly affirms.
Still, it would be a bummer if you weren't here with us and all our friends.
The film doesn't nullify the feelings of anxiety Candace has. The feelings exist, and they are real. They're validated. The film concedes that, yeah, the universe sometimes truly can be a force to be reckoned with. And sometimes you're gonna feel like everything about it is against you. But if you just see yourself as a cog in the machine doomed to fail, well, then you're a self-fulfilling prophecy. Once you realize that you and your family can join forces against this admittedly cruel universe, the sense of camaraderie you will all share will be unstoppable. There is no big purpose to our suffering that we can understand. All we can control is how we cope with it, and we can cope with it together. 'Cause
It's us against the universe. We win.
thank you to all my patrons. Special shout out to Justin, Chapman, Light, and Danny. If you're interested in joining the Patreon, check out the link in the description where you can get rewards such as shoutouts, exclusive videos, and a say on what content you'd like to see from me next. I've gotten a lot of new subscribers recently from my last day of summer video, so I just want to express my gratitude to everyone who watched that, and specifically Phineas and Ferb writer-songwriter Martin Olson and co-creator and voice of Dr. Doofenshmirtz himself, Dan Povenmire, who wrote extremely kind messages about it. I cannot tell you how much that means to me. Like, seriously, that's a major life highlight. Wow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to top that. Really, I don't. But nevertheless, I'll see you next time, and thank you for coming along.